Gadarene swine law. Merely because the group is in formation does not mean that the group is on the right course. Galbraith's law of political wisdom. Anyone who says he isn't going to resign 4 times definitely will. Galbraith's law of prominence. Getting on the cover of Time guarantees the existence of opposition in the future. Galois' revelation. If you put tomfoolery into a computer, nothing comes out but tomfoolery. But this tomfoolery, having passed through a very expensive machine, is somehow ennobled, and no one dares to criticize it. Corollary. An expert is a person who avoids the small errors while sweeping on to the grand fallacy. Gall's law. A complex system that works is invariably found to have evolved from a simple system that worked. A complex system designed from scratch never works and cannot be patched up to make it work. You have to start over with a working, simple system. Gardner's rule of society. The society which scorns excellence in plumbing because plumbing is a humble activity and tolerates shoddiness in philosophy because it is an exalted activity will have neither good plumbing nor good philosophy. Neither its pipes nor its theories will hold water. Gattuso's extension of Murphy's Law. Nothing is ever so bad that it can't get worse. Gell-Mann amnesia effect. Believing newspaper articles outside one's area of expertise, even after acknowledging that neighboring articles in one's area of expertise are completely wrong. Gell-Mann's dictum. Whatever isn't forbidden is required. Corollary. If there's no reason why something shouldn't exist, then it must exist. General law. The chaos in the universe always increases. George's law. All pluses have their minuses. Gerhardt's law. If you find something you like, buy a lifetime supply. They are going to stop making it. Gerald's fundamental truth. It's a good thing money can't buy happiness. We couldn't stand the commercials. Gerald's law. A little ignorance can go a long way. Lyell's addendum. In the direction of maximum harm. Gerald's pronouncement. The difference between a politician and a snail is that a snail leaves its slime behind. Gerson's law. An advantage should be taken in every situation, regardless of ethics. Getty's reminder. The meek shall inherit the earth, but not its mineral rights. Gibbs' law. Infinity is one lawyer waiting for another. Gibson's law. For every PhD, there is an equal and opposite PhD. Gilbert's law. The biggest problem at work is that no one tells you what to do. Gilb's first law of computer unreliability. Computers are unreliable, but humans are even more unreliable. Gilb's law of unreliability. At the source of every error which is blamed on the computer, you will find at least 2 human errors, including the error of blaming it on the computer. Any system which depends on human reliability is unreliable. Undetectable errors are infinite in variety, in contrast to detectable errors, which by definition are limited. Investment in reliability will increase until it exceeds the probable cost of errors, or until someone insists on getting some useful work done. Gillinson's desexed law of expectation. Never get excited about a blind date because of how it sounds over the phone. Gilmer's motto for political leadership. Look over your shoulder now and then to be sure someone's following you. Ginsburg's theorem. 1. You can't win. 2. You can't break even. 3. You can't even quit the game. Joyous theory. The person with the least expertise has the most opinions. Glasner's law. If it says one size fits all, it doesn't fit anyone. Gladham's law of materialistic acquisitiveness. The perceived usefulness of an article is inversely proportional to its actual usefulness once bought and paid for. Gleim's formula. For success. The secret of success is sincerity. Once you can fake that, you've got it made. Godden's law. Generalizedness of incompetence is directly proportional to highestness in hierarchy. Golden principle: nothing will be attempted if all possible objections must first be overcome. Golden rule of arts and sciences: whoever has the gold makes the rules. Goldenstern's rules: 1. Always hire a rich attorney. 2. Never buy from a rich salesman. Gold's Bill, Law: a column about errors will contain errors. Gold's Vic, Law: the candidate who is expected to do well because of experience and reputation, Douglas Nixon, must do better than well, while the candidate expected to fare poorly, Lincoln Kennedy, can put points on the media board simply by surviving. Gold's Law: if the shoe fits, it's ugly. Goldwyn's Law of Contracts: a verbal contract isn't worth the paper it's written on. Golub's second law of computerdom: a carelessly planned project takes 3 times longer to complete than expected. A carefully planned project takes only twice as long. Goodfader's Law: under any system, a few Sharpies will beat the rest of us. Goodhart's Law: when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Gooden's Law of Conversions: the new hardware will break down as soon as the old is disconnected and out. Gordon's first law: if a research project is not worth doing, it is not worth doing well. Golden's axiom of the bouncing can: if you drop a full can of beer and remember to wrap the top sharply with your knuckle prior to opening, the ensuing gush of foam will be between 89 and 94% of the volume that would splatter you if you didn't do a damn thing and went ahead and pulled the top immediately. Golden's Law of Jury Watching: if a jury in a criminal trial stays out for more than 24 hours, it is certain to vote acquittal, save in those instances when it votes guilty. Gord's axiom: a meeting is an event at which the minutes are kept and the hours are lost. Grandma Soderquist's conclusion: a chicken doesn't stop scratching just because the worms are scarce. Grandmother Blackburn's mental umbrella: always be prepared for the worst. If it happens, you are ready for it. If it doesn't, you will be pleasantly surprised. Grandpa Charnock's Law: you never really learn to swear until you learn to drive. Graves' Law: as soon as you make something idiot-proof, along comes another idiot. Gray's Bus Law: a bus will arrive only when the would-be rider has walked to a point so close to the destination that it is no longer worthwhile to board the bus. Gray's Law of Bilateral Asymmetry in Networks: information flows efficiently through organizations, except that bad news encounters high impedance in flowing upward. Gray's Law of Programming: n plus 1 trivial tasks are expected to be accomplished in the same time as n trivial tasks. Greenberg's first law of influence: usefulness is inversely proportional to reputation for being useful. Greener's Law: never argue with a man who buys ink by the barrel. Greenhouse's summation: I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous. Green's Law of Debate: anything is possible if you don't know what you're talking about. Greer's third law: a computer program does what you tell it to do, not what you want it to do. Grelb's addition: if it was bad, it'll be back. Grelb's Law of Erroring: in any series of calculations, errors tend to occur at the opposite end from the end at which you begin checking for errors. Grelb's reminder: 80% of all people consider themselves to be above average drivers. Gresham's Law: trivial matters are handled promptly. Important matters are never resolved. Grissom's Law: the smallest hole will eventually empty the largest container unless it is made intentionally for drainage, in which case it will clog. Grocery bag. Law: the candy bar you plan to eat on the way home from the market is hidden at the bottom of the grocery bag. Grosch's Law: computing power increases as the square of the cost. If you want to do it twice as cheaply, you have to do it 4 times slower. Grossman's Lemma: any task worth doing was worth doing yesterday. Grossman's misquote of H.L. Mencken: complex problems have simple, easy-to-understand wrong answers. Gross's Law: when 2 people meet to decide how to spend a third person's money, fraud will result. Ground rule for laboratory workers. When you do not know what you are doing, do it neatly. Gualtieri's law of inertia. Where there's a will, there's a won't. Gummage's law. The amount of expertise varies in inverse proportion to the number of statements understood by the general public. Gumperson's law. The probability of a given event occurring is inversely proportional to its desirability. Guthman's law of media. 30 seconds on the evening news is worth a front-page headline in every newspaper in the world.